What's up, Instagram? I am Black Vito, and today I want to talk about how to save tens of thousands of dollars. Now, I've done it myself, and you guys can do it as well. It's very, very simple, but it's not very easy. Now, obviously, if you don't want to save tens of thousands of dollars, then I wouldn't watch this video. The first thing I did, very, very simple. I found my advantages and I found my disadvantages. So a lot of people say, well, Jerome, I don't have the advantages that these people have. I have the disadvantages that other people don't have. Well, guess what? It's very, very simple. You have advantages that other people don't have. The key is learning to make lemons out of lemonade and making lemonade into cold, hard cash. Advantages, disadvantages, we all have them. You have to find yours. All right, the second one, very, very simple. Frugality, being frugal. Now, people say, oh, Jerome, you're so cheap, you're stingy with money, blah, 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 blah. You know what? There was a time period where I was eating once a day, only spending like $80 a month on food, and I wasn't getting a haircut. Well, then guess what? I had saved up about $1,000. I took that $1,000 to the stock market, flipped it to $2,000, took half of that and flipped it into another $1,000. So that means at the end of the day, I had $3,000 from just saving $1,000 from haircuts, clothes, and all this other nonsense. So that haircut would have been a very expensive haircut. But we're going to get into investing in a second, but frugality is important. You would need to find places in your life where you can cut down expenses a little bit. I'm not saying you can't have fun. I'm not saying you can't have that nice jacket that you want in the mall. We can't go in the mall right now because of the pandemic, but you get what I'm saying. All I'm saying is 10% of your income, 20% of your income, or 30% of your income. My goal personally is 50% or more, but you don't have to go that extreme. What I'm saying is you can save a very small percentage of your income and then spend the rest of it on nonsense if you want to. But this very small percentage of your income is what you're going to use to grow your wealth. What I find a lot of the times is when you are being frugal, people will criticize you for it, but at the same time, they'll ask you for money. So it's kind of like a catch-22. It's like, all right, well, I don't want you to be frugal, but then the next breath, they'll ask you for money. It's very interesting. So the third thing you could do to save tens of thousands of dollars, even with a low income, is investing. Every single day that I breathe, on average, I make some money. Whether I work or don't work. It doesn't matter if I'm working or not working. And I am poor. Now imagine once you start making a little bit more money. What can you do then? Once you start making a little bit more money and more money and more money from investing your money, eventually you'll have so much money coming in that you won't have to work unless you want to. Now, a lot of people, that sounds like a crazy concept. I say this, make your first $100 of passive income and then come back and talk to me. When I first made my first $100 of passive income, it changed my concept of money forever. Because people always talk about, oh, I make $20 an hour, I make $30 an hour, I make $50 an hour. Well, you know, that's 25 divided by 1 or 50 divided by 1 or 100 divided by 1. But if you are making passive income, that's 0 hours. Obviously, you have to work to get the passive income in place, and obviously, you have to maintain it from time to time. But for the most part, it's mostly passive. You're not really doing anything, so that's 0 hours of work. So what is 100 divided by 0? When you make your first passive income, you start getting into mathematics. You say, all right, well, 100 divided by 0, you can't divide by 0. That's the type of money you want. You want the type of money that you cannot divide. When people say, how much money you make an hour? You want to say, I don't know. I can't calculate it because you can't divide by 0. Invest your money. All right, number 4, very, very simple. You see this right here? This book, I already made a video about this. This is filled with books right here. I got more books, more books. I read. All I do is read. People say, well, Jerome, what are you doing on your phone? I'm reading. You know why? Because human capital is how you build wealth. A lot of people think it's, well, he has a bunch of money or his rich parents. You know what? The key to building wealth really is human capital. You take all of Bill Gates' money. You take all of Jeff Bezos' money. They will be a millionaire by the next day. Literally by the next day. You want to know how? People would pay them billions, if not millions of dollars to be a CEO of their company. People would pay them so much money. So if they really needed money that bad, they could just go out there and go get a job paying hundreds of millions of dollars. You want to know why? You have human capital. And you can't tax human capital. You can't take away human capital. So at the end of the day, you want to learn new skills that can produce you income. You know what they call this? This is called a high income skill. High income skill is a skill that is worth $100,000 or more, But you don't need to go that far. I never went that far, but I did find ways to increase my income. One way I did that was to learn how to invest. Another thing that I did was learn about the tax law in the United States. Because I kept hearing, oh, well, all these millionaires are paying nothing in taxes. All these rich people are paying nothing in taxes. All these billionaires pay nothing in taxes, including the president. Well, you know what I said? I wonder how I can do that. Instead of complaining about it, I said, how can I do that? And I said that to people and they said, you know what? You can't do it, Jerome. You're too poor and only wealthy people can do that. Well, guess what? I learned the tax law, haven't paid taxes since. So you can do it. You just have to learn. When you come back home from work, you can go sit around and you can do nothing. That works. Or you can learn so you can increase your income. So if you don't want to work anymore, you don't have to. That's financial freedom for you. All right, number 5 and the last one is ABI. Not to be confused with UBI, which is Universal Basic Income. ABI stands for always be increasing. Always be increasing your net worth. Always be increasing your income. And always be increasing your passive income. So if you want to increase your passive income, you actually have to be active. So that's the thing right there. So that's a lot of people forget. If you want to increase your passive income, you have to be active. The way that you increase your income and your net worth is by doing these things that I mentioned before. Frugality, investing, and increasing your human capital, increasing your knowledge. That's really how you go about saving tens of thousands of dollars and increasing your net worth by tens of thousands of dollars a year. And this is what I did to save $26,000 in less than 2 years, making only like $20,000 a year. Now, anyway, everybody won't be able to do this same exact amount. If you make more money, your goal should be higher. If you make less money, maybe your goal will be lower. But at the end of the day, this is possible for you. Now, since you stuck around this long, this is only for the people who've made it this far. This is only for a few people because I'm not going to give this last one to everybody because not everybody's really going to be willing to hear this one. So I wanted to give this to the people who made it this far because obviously you are willing to make sacrifices. So what is this bonus tip I'm going to give you guys? Is sacrifices. Now, I might have made this sound a lot easier than it was in this video. But the thing is, it's going to require sacrifices. If you want to make, $5,000 a month in passive income, it's going to require you to make sacrifices. Most people are not willing to make sacrifices, so they will never be wealthy. They will never be able to be financially free because they're not willing to make sacrifices. They're going to be the donkey, and the donkey rider is going to have a little carrot in front of them for the rest of their life, and they're just going to be, walking trying to get that carrot, just, that carrot with, benefits. And once you reach financial freedom, that carrot disappears. If you want to go take a lower paying job because you are financially free, you can go take that job. If you want to go volunteer at some place, you can go take that. But you can't do that unless you're financially free. And that requires a significant amount of sacrifices. You might not be able to get there until you're 40 years old or 30 years old. It just depends on how many sacrifices you're willing to make and how good are you at increasing your income. And that's obviously a part of being able to increase your frugality, increase your investing, and then also increasing your human capital. Because if you increase your human capital, you'll be able to invest better. That means you'll be able to save more money because you'll be making more money in the first place. Anyway, thank you guys for watching and have a good day. Now you have the tools to become a 10,000-aire.